Hi folks, Michael. We're back again for the second episode of Fun Time Friday. We are going to do some seed starting today. Last week I talked about what kind of seeds to start at what time of year and all that. Today we're actually going to do some actual seed starting to get going for the season. First thing you need to do is kind of get a gauge of what you want to do, how you want to plant them, and if you're going to transplant them indoors or transplant them directly outdoors. And we'll get to all that in just a second. So we need to just start off by getting our gear together. So first of all, we have different types of trays we sell. We sell trays like this that have some holes in them. So if you have a greenhouse environment where you can have some drainage that goes through the holes, you can use something like this. Most people don't, so we're going to use the same kind of tray, but without holes in it. So it's a solid tray on the bottom. We have different types of inserts. We have inserts with larger packs like this. We have some inserts with some smaller packs like this. So what we're going to do is I'll show you the difference between the two and why you would start one or the other. And also different types of soil medium we have. We have some that's specifically made just for soil starting, which is this one here. This is a very, very light, fluffy mix. Lots of perlite, real airy mix. And this is our Metro 360 is what we call this. This is the general potting mix we use for a lot of our plants, our smaller plants, hanging baskets, all those things. Can you start seeds in either one? Yes, you can. Depending on what we use is kind of depending on what soil we use for over here. So this is mainly just for seed starting. It's very light and airy, doesn't really hold on to a lot of moisture and nutrients as well. This has a little more bark to it. So in the long run, this will hold on to more water and nutrients. So if you're gonna have something in the pot for a longer period of time, you use this. Just for seed starting, you do something like this. So we sell these in little smaller 8-quart bags, or we sell them in very large 3-quart bags, so you can have it for a couple of years that way. So what do I mean by how are we going to do this? Well, first of all, let me get a couple more things as part of our equipment that you're going to get started. Light is very important for when we're doing seed starting. So extra light is always important. Usually just daylight in a window just isn't quite enough to get seeds started. If they do start inside that way, they will kind of keep reaching and stretching for light. So extra light is always the best thing to do when you're starting indoors. We sell a couple different things. We have a grow light like this, which is a clamp-on light. It's more of a floodlight. We also sell an LED light like this, which is a series of LED lights on a panel that you'd hang over a planting. What I like to use is something simpler. Get your old-fashioned fluorescent shop light like this here. This one has the regular fluorescent cool white tubes that you're going to put in, just a 40-watt bulb in them, something like this. This can take over the space for two different flats of planting that you're going to start. They also make these nowadays in LED form. Those fluorescent ones are a little harder to find nowadays, so got some LED ones also. These are a little more expensive, but they last longer because they have the LED bulbs in them. The wattage and all that doesn't really matter as much as how close you can get it to the plants. Usually about a 40-watt bulb is what we're shooting for. And people always ask the question also, does it matter if it's a grow light or a regular light? For the purposes of what we're doing here, for just starting seeds, you don't really need a grow light. Grow lights are full spectrum that have all the different spectrum from cool to warm light. For just starting seeds, the cool light is perfectly fine. That's mostly for green growth. The warm side of the spectrum is generally for things like flowering and fruiting. So we don't really need that till later. So for just doing seed starting, just a cool bulb is fine. So either a cool bulb in a clamp-on form like this, or a cool fluorescent bulb is fine. And like I talked about last time, adding a little heat to the bottom also helps tremendously. So we sell like a seedling heat mat like this. So what this does is a little mat that you're going to put down underneath this tray, like this, and you're going to plug this in. And when you plug it in, what it does is it raises the temperature underneath here 10 degrees from whatever the surface is it's sitting on. So it gives you a little bit warmth from the bottom, which is what the seeds need to go to get germinated. So if you're going to set up a situation like what I have at home, is I have a couple of these over a table. So I have these hanging. So I have one here and I have one like over here. So each one of these can handle, you can put 2 trays under each one. So if you have 2 of these shop lights, you can have 4 trays underneath them. So if you're going to do different seeds at different times, the way I like to do it is to use something like this. Why is this better than something like this? Because This gives you some more options. So if I wanted to plant, like say, different types of tomatoes or peppers in here, so I can plant the seeds into these containers, and as they germinate, I'm going to transplant them out of this container either into something like this or something a little larger. I'll show you in a second. This gives you a little more flexibility. So what I do is I have this with a little bit larger containers in it on my seedling heat mat. So this is my germination mat, my germination area. So things are going to germinate in this spot, and my intention is to transplant them into something bigger as they germinate. The other way you can do it is to start them in something like this. If you start it in something like this, you can do that as well. When you put seeds in here, I always put a couple seeds in each cell, just because you don't know if all of them are going to germinate. It doesn't necessarily mean that every single seed is going to germinate when you do this. So in this case, I put a couple in each cell. That way you get a better chance of having at least one of them come up and do its thing from there. So I'm going to show you this method. So what I've done is I started already. I've taken a tray with no holes in it, like you're probably going to have at your home, and I filled it up with some of our seed starting mix. So that's this really, really lightweight mix right here, because my intention is to transplant it up into something else later. So in this case, this is going to be sitting on my seedling heat mat. So when I start these seeds, I have my two lights over here like this. I'm going to have these lights. They're going to be hanging right about here. They're going to be only a few inches off the top of the seed tray. You want to get that light as close as possible. The closer it is, the more light you're going to have on that plant, the less it's going to stretch looking for extra light. So figure out some kind of a place that you can hang a couple shop lights over a table and get this kind of seedling heat tray and get your seed starting mix. And what I did is moisten it first. The best thing to do is to moisten it first, because if you go back and try to moisten it after, you're going to be splashing your seeds around all over the place, and sometimes they run off to one side or splash even out of the container. So it's best to get this moist first. Like we talked about last time, some things you want to start like at this time of year because they take a little longer to germinate and grow. So like peppers, we're going to do peppers. We just started our peppers here at Countryside just last week. So it's a good time to start your peppers at home. So I got a pepper mix like this to get going. So at this point, you're going to read the back of the packaging. It always tells you here how deep to plant them. Most of them say, this one says, okay, 3/16. Okay, I'm not going to get out my tape measure to measure 3/16. Basically, you just want to cover it, make sure it's covered with soil. They're all going to say like 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, that kind of thing. That's the ideal measurement, but just getting them covered is what you're looking for. So I'm just going to give you a little example. So I get some seeds out of here. Just pop it in my hand. So these are tiny, pretty tiny seeds. So I'm just going to put them on top of the soil like that. So I'm going to let's say I want to grow 6 different types of peppers. So I'm going to put one variety here, one variety here. Each one gets their own cell pack. After I plant the seed, I throw it right on top of the soil like that. So after I plant them all, first of all, don't forget to label them, because all these pepper plants look exactly the same, unless you know what they are. So I'm going to put a label in each one. And after that, I'm going to come back and just lightly cover the top of the seed like this. Again, I'm not going to get out my tape measure. Just make sure they're covered. Just make sure there's a little layer of soil on top of it like that. After you're done with all of them, I come back and just do a little spray bottle like this and give it a little spritz. Make sure that top layer is nice and moist. So if you come back with a heavier spray or from your sink or something like that, it'll splash a lot of the soil around and all that and move the seeds around where you don't want them to. So it's best to use a spray bottle like this. It's just a nicer way to keep it evenly moist. So then, yeah, this sits up on your seedling heat mat. I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to plug my light in, turn it on, have it hanging, again, like right about here. Just a few inches over the top of the soil. Doesn't really matter just yet because the plants aren't there yet. Get it some light on it and get some heat from underneath. So in this case, when you start your seeds from soil, on the top, they're on the top, very top layer, 1/2 inch of the soil. So all the action's on the top of the soil at this point. So as they're germinating, as they start germinating, you want to make sure you keep that top layer nice and moist. So make sure as these plants are growing, as you see the top layer dry out, just go back and give it a little spritz of water every now and then, just to keep that top layer moist, because that's where all the action is right now. As the plants grow, and then when you transplant them somewhere else, then you want the as they grow roots and down into the soil, then you want the moisture to be more towards the bottom of the pot so the root system gets down to the bottom of the pot. So for right now, you're going to want that top layer moist. After they germinate, then you do not want it moist. You can get things like plastic domes that go over the top to get them started. That gives a little extra moisture to the plant as well. You don't have to keep spritzing them as much. Or you can put like a saran wrap over the top or something like that just to keep the humidity down. That way you don't have to do as much spritzing. So then now you got your seeds started. And so when you have a shop light like this, what's nice is you have your section where you have your seedlings germinating, and you have another section right over here where you can transplant your plants to when you're done. So I can show you, these are some plants I started last week. So next week's show, I'm going to show you about transplanting. So you can see, even though we have extra light in here, we're in a greenhouse, a lot of these plants are stretching a little bit. These are some kale plants I started here, and these are some sunflowers. So these are things my intention is to transplant these into a larger container from this point. So once they get to that point, next week I'm going to show you how we're going to transplant these things into a larger container and get them going from there. But this is just an example of the sunflowers, and then I planted some beans. I just planted some stuff that they can grow very quickly. Just to show you that this is something that you don't have to plant indoors. So these are regular green beans. So this is only 2 weeks time. So think to yourself, okay, this is how fast I can get beans off this thing. It's actually to the point where they're to decent size, and they're probably going to start flowering at some point here and get some fruit on them in the near future. So beans and like sunflowers are things you do not need to start inside. You can see how fast they grow. This is only 2 weeks. So you can take something like this and just wait until late May and push some seeds into the ground. And these are things that will pop up really fast and grow really fast from that point. So these are things you don't have to plant indoors. Other things like tomatoes and peppers, the tropical plants, these need that little extra head start, helps out, get the plant going, because they're used to longer growing seasons in the tropics is where they're really from. We're just trying to grow them here in our climate. So again, when it comes to the soil, does it really matter because we plant all our seeds directly into this kind of soil, into this potting soil, just because we keep them in that same container. Because this holds on to moisture a little better, holds on to nutrients a little better than something like this does. So again, if you're going to use an area where you're going to transplant out of this into different containers, use the seed starting mix. If you're going to use, if you're going to sow directly into a larger container, either something like this or something like these guys, you're going to use something like this, like a regular potting soil that we sell. Does it matter? No, the seeds will germinate into one of these. It doesn't really matter, but just in the long run, this is a better product to use in the long run as opposed to this. So you got your heat, you got your light, you got it on here. All these plants will germinate at different times. The nice thing about doing it this way is you can pick out as they grow, you can pick out and transplant the ones into different containers as they get to their mature size. So we're going to talk about transplanting next Friday. So please come back next Friday and we'll talk about transplanting your seedlings up from there, and we'll go hopefully transition out, and then the transition outdoors will be the week after that. So check back for those episodes, and thanks for stopping by today. Have a good day.